Welcome out, everybody. Glad you are here. What you're going to see today is 6 different ways to build a menu. I typically do like top 5 videos or top 10 stuff. This is not really in any particular order of importance. This is just going to be 6 different ways that you can build a menu on the Aldelo Express platform. So let's get into it. The first one is a customer build. Really, not beyond belief. Customers do like to build their own menu. There are some out there who prefer to do their own menu. They just want to get involved. They want to enjoy the system. They kind of techie type of customer, but yeah, they will get involved. Let them create all or part of the menu. It'd be easy to produce. Maybe we have a CSV import that we'll get it here to in a minute. Maybe give them the spreadsheet and let them enter in all their prices. Maybe they want to do their bar menu. It's all done through an Excel spreadsheet, not hard to do. They can just simply enter their prices and hit enter as they go down the list of the spreadsheet. Makes it very quick for them. Easy to adjust as well. If you get into negotiations for price on the system, if they're telling you that their cost is too high and they want to save money, well, offer them a cost savings on the database build if they do it themselves. It really does attract interest of certain customers. And above all, it teaches them how to do their own database. It teaches them how to maintain it. So that going forward, there'll be less of a technical support problem or technical support questions because they already know how to do their menu. Next up would be you building the menu, which could be or should be a revenue source. I used to charge $500 a terminal for programming, installation, and training. So a 3-terminal system, I would charge $1,500 to build the database, do the installation, including any placement of terminals and what have you. Wiring would actually be extra. We would have a wiring company come in and drop the Ethernet cables. So installation is placing the terminals, placing the printers, making sure that everything is done properly. Then training of the employees, including management training. So all 3 of those things would be at $500 a terminal. I recommend you do something similar based upon your competitive pricing in your area. Your competition does charge for this, so do not hesitate to also charge. We at Aldelo will provide the training to you, your staff, whomever, at no charge. So we will teach you how to do the programming, how to do the training. We teach you these things so that you can go out and make this a source of revenue for your business. We give you the tools also. There are tools that will help you in doing this. There's menu item duplication, in that you create the first menu in that category, assign the color of the button and the routing and the modifiers, and when you're done with that first item, you then duplicate that item. Then all you have to do is enter in the description and the price. And it just duplicates everything else about that menu item. Makes it very fast to do. Then there's AI menu item completion. This is where the description of the item is suggested to you by our AI tool based upon the descriptions that are in other databases in the Aldelo Express family of databases. So you could enter in the first 3 letters and a list of suggested descriptions will pop up and you can just select from any of those. Then there's also speech to text. If you're using a system that allows this, you can turn on and activate the microphone, speak into the microphone. It will then translate what you're speaking to actual text. This then allows you to quickly type and accurately type the description into the block. Very simple, very easy to do. But these are tools that can help you in creating a database and helps you speed that process up tremendously. Number 4 is the CSV import. We provide you the template. It's going to be in a Excel format that you can then take that and create larger menus. Really, really good for big menus that have a lot of the descriptions and the pricing in them, where you can just go down the spreadsheet. Makes it very, very easy to give this to the owner. Give the spreadsheet to the owner. Let them create their own menu, like their own bar menu can be done through this. Modifiers are easily added to this later on. So this is a real quick way of creating the menu that is then imported into the Aldelo Express platform. If this is a chain or a group of stores, you can take an existing database and duplicate it. Simply duplicate the existing database to create the new store. It's the easiest and fastest. All the methods that we have to create a new store is just to simply duplicate one that's existing and then just make minor location changes based upon the location's different pricing and maybe a few other minor changes. This is a really good way of managing a chain type operation. Number 2 is import it from Aldelo POS. Aldelo POS we've got a lot of installs, and looking at the list of the dealers that are in this call today, every one of you have Aldelo POS Windows-based installs in your area. And every one of those needs to be approached because they're all targets for your competition. Your competition looks at the Aldelo Express platform, the Aldelo POS platform as low-hanging fruit. They're trying to take those customers from a Windows solution to a tablet solution. And we get a lot of calls saying that your customers don't want a tablet solution. But then we get the same dealer call us back complaining that their Aldelo POS customer just got moved to a tablet solution. Come on, guys. Don't fall for my customer doesn't want a tablet solution. Don't fall for that. Your customers need to be approached about Aldelo Express. Every one of them needs to be contacted about a tablet solution. Whether you believe it or not, they are being courted by your competition to move to tablets. And if you're not on top of them, they're going to move to a tablet that's not ours. So you need to contact them because your competition is. I promise you, your competition is targeting your customer to move them to a tablet solution. And who better to do that than you? If nothing else, they need to be contacted about a hardware refresh because XP is no longer PCI compliant. In fact, anything older than Windows 10 is not PCI compliant, and that's really not a good scenario for hackers and other people who might be trying to get into the system. Do not let your customers stagnate because of older hardware. They do need a hardware refresh. In fact, Windows 10 will be out of compliance next October. So even that customer is going to need to be upgraded. We have a tool that will convert an Aldelo POS customer to Aldelo Express. Rodney's going to show you how to do that here in a moment. We're going to actually convert a database for you. And you're going to see just how simple and easy it is. Things that come over are categories, menu items, modifiers, prices, even the inventory system comes over, employees, customer database, discounts, surcharges, and seating groups. all these things come over. So if the customer is wanting to keep the same database, same categories, same items, same prices, this all converts over. Your competition cannot do this. So that customer, if they move to a competitive system, will not be able to keep the same flow, the same items, same prices is what they have now. Some things will change with regard to a competitor's new database, whereas ours will remain the same. Now, gift cards can be done, but they're done separately. So an export from the Aldelo POS gift card file can be directly imported into Aldelo Express, and we will do that one for you. Then the number one way to build a menu is through artificial intelligence. Aldelo Express reads the menu. You take the tablet using the camera that's on the back side and read the menu. It creates the categories, menu items, descriptions, and prices all from the customer's menu. Multiple page menus are easy. Does not have a problem with that. It really just takes minutes to create the basic menu, and then you add the modifiers, printer routing, and location settings. It does 75 to 80% of the work for you, and then you just tweak what's left to actually complete the database. It can be used to update prices. So in an existing database, take the new menu, scan it, and it will change the prices of the existing item and add any new items that are on the new menu. Makes the menu building much easier and much faster. And I really challenge you to try this. Get your demo database and give this a try. Add a menu or add some menu items to it, because it can be used multiple times to add multiple menus, and it can be used to add a temporary menu such as a Mother's Day brunch. So I wrote out a Mother's Day brunch menu on a 8.5 by 11 piece of paper using my grandkids' crayon. In the system read it and added that menu to the system. So it does a lot with a little. It comes standard with the system. I really highly recommend you get comfortable with this. So now let's take a look at what Rodney has put together for us with regard to the import from the Aldelo POS.
Okay, first we're going to go ahead and start with Aldelo POS. We want to verify the location of the database because we want to perform the import on the station that the database is being hosted. So we'll go into the back office, and if Aldelo POS is using the widescreen format, you can see on the upper right the data path of the database, and you'll see it's local, so you'll know what's on this station. However, if Aldelo POS is not running the widescreen version, you can always click or tap on Select Database to view the data path there. And if you see that it's on the C drive, you'll know it's on that local station. And I'm going to show a screenshot here. You can also view the data path from the registry editor, and you can proceed with the import. But before we actually perform the import, we just want to go over the data that will transfer over. So just keep some of these items in mind, because we will verify once we build the store and show the information that has transferred over. So we're going to go into the menu setup and view the menu items. So you'll see the different groups and the items within the group there. All this will transfer over. However, the images that you'll see for the items, or even if the groups had images, those will not transfer over. We'll check the modifiers here. All these modifiers will transfer over as well. If there are modifiers that have been hidden, those will also transfer over, and you can view them as discontinued modifiers once they're on the cloud. Also, the employee files will transfer over. So you'll see the employee files here and the security levels. and titles, those will transfer over. Your inventory will transfer over as well. So just keep in mind some of these inventory items here. Once again, those will all transfer over. We'll go over the customers. So you'll see the different customers we have here. And lastly, the surcharges and discounts will transfer over. So these are the existing surcharges and the existing discounts here. Right, so that is all the information that will transfer over. Now, what will not transfer over is any sales data, house accounts, the security settings, group and item pictures, as I mentioned earlier, any of the station settings or hardware connections, hardware being your different printers, as well as payment devices. And gift cards will not transfer over. However, there is a gift card import if they're using the gift card program within the Aldelo POS. That can be transferred over once the store is built and gift has been requested. One thing to know, it's best to compact the database prior to the import, just to clean up the database and increase the likelihood that the import process will go through successfully. In cases where the import file is created, but you encounter an error when trying to build the store, you may want to try to jet compact the database and try again. Otherwise, you can contact our support team and work with our support technicians to get the store imported there. Okay, so now that we have all that information, we can go ahead and start with the import. So we're going to go ahead and move over to the browser and go to our download site. Now we're on the Aldelo download page, and we can scroll down to the migration tool download, and you'll see the image here and the download button there. So we can click on download, and it'll take us to our download page. Go ahead and download that file. And this may differ depending on the web browser being used. I'll go ahead and open up that folder. And before running the tool here, you do want to exit the application for Aldelo POS on the server station as well as the client stations, because we will be accessing the database and we don't want to cause any database corruption during this process. So I have closed down my Aldelo POS. I am just going to simply run the file. So we'll double click. And the window will pop up, and all we have to do is click on export. And I'll save it to a specific folder here. And we'll name the file. Okay, so we do have to remember exactly where we're storing this file, because we will access this file when we create our store in the cloud. So I'll go and save this. And so we're done with the import tool. Next, we are going to go ahead and log into the cloud here. And we'll sign in. And we're going to go to stores on the left-hand pane. And we'll see the stores that I do have access to. And just note that if you have any trial stores, you will not be able to create a new store there until it is out of the trial designation. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Create New Store. And then from the import options here, I'm going to select the import setup from APOS. So we'll go and select our store here. Then you'll see that the file has been selected there. If we want to import the employee setup, we can turn that on. And then if we need to make any edits, we can add that. Otherwise, it's going to carry the information from the previous store there. And the city and state we have to enter in. So any required information, if it's not inputted, we do have to set that as well. Okay, and then we'll set the industry, category, and cuisine, and style. And you'll notice when I hit next, it goes straight into the staff setup. Okay, we'll go ahead and put in the passcode. Now, we are adding the creator user to the account. The existing employees that we are importing will be imported as well. If we do need to create new staff, we can click on the create new staff on the upper right here. We'll go ahead and click build store now, and it will proceed to build the store. Okay, so you'll see it built the store there. You'll see the new subscriber ID. It will be under trial designation until the store is registered. I'm going to click on the store and accept. Okay, so some of the information we're going to verify are the menu items. So we're going to go into the products, item setup. If you recall the groups here, the items within each group, this did transfer over. You'll see with the pizzas, it does create them as a top level or pop-up header item, and it has the different sizes as the sub items there. We go into our modifier setup. You'll see all the modifiers that were imported over. Okay, then we'll go into our employee files. You'll see the employees that were imported over. Then we can view our customers. All these customers did import over. And then we'll check our inventory. You'll see the inventory items that did transfer over. Okay, next we're going to go into the settings, and we're going to go ahead and view the discounts and surcharges. So here are the discounts that transferred over, as well as the surcharges. And lastly, we're going to go into the seatings. You'll see the table groups that transferred over, the tables within the group here. Here's a screenshot of what the tables will look like on the application. And if using an iPad, you can manually move the tables accordingly. So as you can see here, the import was completed successfully. All right, so I'll go ahead and hand it back to you, Jerry.
Thanks, Rodney. Appreciate it. Good job as always, bud. So we've given you several different tools on how to build a database. We've given you a specific tool on how to convert an Aldelo POS database to Aldelo Express. We've taken away all the arguments. We've taken away all the excuses. It's now time for you to go and approach your Aldelo POS customer to convert them to Aldelo Express. If you don't, your customer is going to get lost to a competitor. And that's just happening way too often for us to be patient. We need you to go out and get in front of those customers. Convert them to Aldelo Express. Get them on the tablet in the current solution. As far as new customers go, you have now multiple different ways to build a database or have the customer help you build that database. We've taken away all excuses now for that as well. Use that as a revenue source because it should be chargeable, but your competition is charging for the database. So don't leave money on the table with regard to that. It is something that could be and should be a revenue producer for you. As always, if you have any questions, get with us and we will help you out.